Hello, everybody. Thank you, and welcome to this talk from AB Tasty. We're really pleased to be on the stage, which is the future of CX, but what we're actually going to do is talk about the digital customer today in order to maybe, hopefully, inspire you about what they want in the future. My name is John Hughes. I'm in charge of marketing at AB Tasty, and I'm joined by Gurleen.
Hi everyone, I'm Gurleen Dhameja, one of the senior customer success managers at AB Tasty.
Just to give you a little idea of who AB Tasty is, we're an experimental optimization platform, which basically means that you can improve and optimize anything and everything on your site. So our platform allows you to experiment client side, so as a marketer you can do it with no code or easy code. It allows you to experiment server side, which means feature rollouts for product developers, and you can also use us for personalization, AI-powered personalization, search, recommendation, and more. This is a really important phrase for us because AB Tasty is all about change, it's all about failure, it's all about failing better, it's all about doing something again and again and again and again and again until you get it right. It's what we call continuous improvement, and that's something that we really try and embrace. If you want to find out more about us, our stand, I can see it from here, I don't know whether you can see it from here, it's just on the corner over there. Come over and speak to us because there's lots of AB Tasty people here, probably some in the audience as well.
Some of the brands that we work and partner with and work with, as you can see on the screen, some big names is Cartier, L'Occitane, Klarna, Jaguar, many of them across many of our regions in the US, in the APAC, EMEA, and in the UK as well.
So, what we're going to present to you today is basically AB Tasty's consumer report for 2024, which is actually based on a survey of 4,000 people in the US, the UK, Germany, France, and Australia, so like the key markets that we actually work in. And one of the main criteria for anyone who took part was that they had to have made an online purchase in the last 3 months. And we wanted to understand basically the different aspects of their behavior. So what their buying habits were, what influenced them, what things got them to make a purchase. We looked at privacy, we looked at data usage, we looked at AI, we looked at personalization. I'm not going to do all of those things today, but we are kind of going to try and bring out some of the key points and also give you some example from AB Tasty customers of how you can optimize based on these themes. So, Gurleen, let's have a closer look.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, John. So we really wanted to kind of begin at the beginning. So we asked the consumers, where do they usually start their online shopping journey? Now, 43% of our respondents responded with Google search. Given the fact that we're in 2024, post-COVID as well, I think we all can understand that SEO and paid search has become a huge part of anyone's digital journey. And in that sense, it makes sense why the responses have such a high percentage of it. It also goes to the fact, and we want to kind of emphasize on this as well, is that having an SEO and paid matrix in your digital journey is so crucial, because when they land on your site and the experience they're going to receive, because you're spending so much on your SEO and paid traffic just to get them on your site, it is so crucial to make sure your search on your actual website and as well as your SEO strategies are very well developed and optimized when they land on the website. The second highest one was company, so coming to your brand directly onto your site. Now, this really goes to the brands who really want to focus on brand loyalty. This means that they are aware of your brand, they know what they kind of want to look at, what kind of products they want to purchase, they have an understanding of what type of brand you are trying to deliver here. And for that, when they land on your site, there are really two important things that you should be considering is one, value proposition, trying to stand out why you are different to purchase from, why should they come directly and purchase from you guys, and secondly is your search journey on your website as well. So the easier they can find the product, the easier they will get to the conversion stage and actually convert from the checkout funnel. And thirdly, I'd like to also emphasize on the third highest reach, that was mobile apps. Now, a lot of brands have started to consider mobile apps, and it's very important to kind of also start investing in the mobile app side of things, because that's where most of your brand loyalty is going to go towards as well. Also, it's really crucial to have a user-friendly, intuitive app, as well as making sure when they are on your app, your users are actually able to guide through the right product they are seeking for as well. So those were the top 3 that we thought that were quite very interesting, and given the optimization landscape, that's where your digital journey is going to be highest impacted as well. So just to give an example, one of our property industry clients, what they did was they tested out for their SEA and SEO campaign, so traffic coming from the SEO strategies. For the landing pages, so when they search for a property and they land on their search, the listing page for the properties, what they wanted to do was change the experience that they would see for their most strategical, high converted pages, which was their main landing pages. So on the top, you can see the original variation. It was in a vertical format. Then they actually decided to change that experience for those coming from other traffic sources and change it to a vertical format. And in the 2 variations that they were testing, they had the 2 CTAs as they had in the original. But in the second variation, they changed it a bit around, made it a bit more iconographic, bit more visually appealing as well. And as you can see the data on the screen, they actually saw an increase of 1.25% in their make an appointment click call to action, as well as their key conversion of contact leads increased by 3.3%. So just making those format changes, or just giving a different variation experience to your traffic sources that are coming from your paid marketing traffic, can really impact your overall conversion as well, because then you can differentiate the behaviors they have and the engagement they would have with your content. It is different to your direct users. So that was really, really interesting for us to see. The second one is Gani, so one of our luxury brands that we work with currently. What they saw was that they saw a huge drop-off, about 34% in their conversion, people coming from when they search on site. So in their data, they found out the search functionality wasn't very optimal. And to just kind of improve that journey, they did a very simple change, very low-code change within the A/B Tasty platform, and that was testing out 2 variations. In one, they put out the term search, and they changed the color of it just so it can stand out a little bit more. And in the second one, they just actually expanded the search bar. Now, it seems like these are the behaviors we see pretty much across any kind of e-commerce site, but having to test that and actually being able to validate was very crucial for them. And also just remembering that they can land on your site and you can have really great content to engage with, but if they can't find the product or services they're actually looking for, having that search functionality just in front of their eyes gives them a point to stay on your site and not bounce off. So they saw an increase of 7.5% conversion in desktop when they made a search through the search bar, landed on a product page, and actually converted to purchase that because they were able to land on the desired product. And overall sessions with search and mobile increased by 21.9%. Now, I think we can all agree mobile has such high traffic, but in terms of its conversion, it's so low. So it's just trying to make sure that journey between desktop and mobile is quite seamless, but very relevant to them when they come on your site as well. So again, a very interesting use case that we tested.
Absolutely. Now, Gurleen and I would like to stand here and give you all the answers and tell you it's really, really easy to do. But in actual fact, what we found out when we did this was that different people want different things, and that's really difficult to make your website do it. So 28% of online shoppers were confident, they know what they want to get the job done, they just want to do it quickly. 22% were review orientated. They want to see social proof, they want to look at the reviews. 21% are looking at comparisons, 19% are detail oriented, and 10% are just very fast. The question is, how do I optimize my website if everybody wants something very, very different? And there isn't like one simple answer to that. I mean, you can do a certain amount of personalization. A/B Tasty has a feature which is called Emotions AI, which allows you to personalize based on the way someone's behaving on your site, based on how they move their mouse or their finger and so on. And so you can start to personalize in that way. But I think it's also about trying to be targeted on occasion. So that's why we put in this example, which is from Clarence, which is a global customer of ours. And this is basically where we know people are looking at different things, but what they did was they actually targeted it. So this is where they saw that people were looking at certain products. So any product that was viewed more than 100 times in 24 hours, they added social proof prominently on that product page. And they used a plugin widget from A/B Tasty, which meant they needed no code and a ready-made template from us to use to add to their site. And they saw an increase in add to bag and a significant increase in terms of revenue. I think it's a really good example of a targeted campaign because they're highlighting pages they knew were being looked at, and the test pushed many people over the line. Oh, I've gone too fast, Gurleen.
Yeah. One of the other questions we asked was what influences you the most to purchase a product online? So influences is more around the considerations they're going to think about to go ahead and make a purchase at your site. And at this point, we got the top 6 answers. First being earning discounts, gifts, and gifts or free shipping. Now, when you are becoming a loyal customer, you do have this expectations of receiving some level of incentive, so that's why it's so crucial. Once you start to create that loyalty database for your site and your customers, is to kind of start thinking, how do we present the incentives in the best way that would reach out to them and they would be more engaging for them. The other one is high quality reviews. Now, if we are purchasing something online, which is probably quite high price, we want to make sure the quality and the value that we're going to get out of this product is going to be as perfect as possible. And that's where reviews come in as well. So when you have such reviews and testimonials on your site for products, your services, it is so important to optimize that in the best way and present them when users land on your site. So it could be above the fold, just so it attracts them and actually starts, getting that engagement that you need with your content. Return policies, good customer service. Good customer service is an interesting one. So if you have, for example, a customer support line or you have a chat line, it's making sure that is quite upfront and well optimized as well, because we want to make sure when users are actually considering and, in terms of thinking about influencing them to purchase, if we can put forward to them that, if they purchase with you, there is going to be some level of customer service in case they're not happy with it or they have any questions. Just bringing those factors up forward is, again, it can all be part of your value proposition for your brand, and just presenting them really well on your website is what's going to get them to engage. And the sixth one I kind of wanted to kind of highlight was the virtual try-on. Now, it is becoming more of an optimization trend rather than just like a trend within a particular industry. Virtual try-ons now, I think, to think about it, given post-COVID, a lot of people tend to not go into the store and purchase. They would like to see that experience online. And virtual try-ons allows you to kind of get the feel and the look of what the product will look like. So a lot of beauty brands have started to do that. I'm pretty sure a lot of women here would agree with me. When you go on a beauty brand site and there's a foundation you want to try, which is not in store, but you want to kind of see if it's going to match your skin color, it allows you to virtually kind of try on that color. As an example, we tested with one of our high luxury watch brands. And what they did was very simple, trying to bring their offline and online experience together. So obviously buying a watch is quite expensive, and what they did is a very simple use case is by using A/B Tasty image pop-in widget by adding the creative and adding a QR code on desktop site only, because obviously when you're doing a high-end purchase, you want to kind of look at your desktop site, go on there and actually research there, and in that moment you're able to get them to go on their mobile browsers, actually try the watch on their wrist, virtually obviously, to get that better intent to purchase as well. So they may be in the research phase, and they want to actually consider buying it, and maybe seeing that on virtually would strengthen their intent to purchase as well. So that was a very simple use case that we have built for them, very low code, and increased click rate by 10.5%. Now that's a very high engagement rate for very high luxury brands as well. So when users are coming, we capturing their attention and able to get them to engage with certain products can be very difficult, and we did that quite easily with this brand.
We also looked at the primary drivers for online purchasing by age group. So in the report, we get a little bit more granular. And as you can see, Gen Z is looking at reviews. It's a little bit close to the Clarins case study that we saw where they're looking at social proof and so on. And other generations, or all the older ones, are still looking for discounts, gifts, free shipping. And I think that's really interesting in the sense of we know, particularly in e-commerce, how complicated it is to get the shipping exactly right, what encourages people to buy, what discourages people if it's at the wrong price. And again, many of our different customers test around that in order to get it exactly right. We ask shoppers about the biggest factors that influence them to leave a website without purchasing the items in their cart. 34% of respondents said their biggest factor for abandoning their cart was the payment method not being accepted. Now, with the rising popularity of digital wallets, Apple Pay, Google Pay, whichever one, or maybe pay over time options, or areas where people can actually save their card details, I think it's really pointing to that in terms of what people want to kind of lower the anxiety of paying. But also the next most popular answer was that they weren't ready to buy, right? Which we can easily understand. Lots of people put things in their shopping cart, they're kind of browsing, they just want to remember them. They're maybe thinking about a purchase and they put it there and they're going to go away and come back. So understanding where visitors are in the customer journey, whether they're in research phase or ready to buy, can really inform the targeted strategies to help re-engage them effectively.
Yeah, so a use case that we did with one of our clients who were partnered up with Alma. They're a payment option in the Europes across many regions. And what they did was very simple change. They wanted to obviously add the €100 specification directly on the product page to be more transparent about their prerequisites for this payment service that they had. And all they did was just update the copy within the A/B Tasty editor, WYSIWYG editor, very low effort, but the impact that you can see is they had a potential profit of €66,495, which is quite huge when it comes to being at the checkout funnel, making a change at your journey, which is quite near to the end. You will see a lot of users or customers drop off, but having to see that potential uplift, which was quite interesting to see because it was basically no code effort to put in to make that change, and it was just making that their users aware of the payment method that they have. So again, going back to John's point, it can ease off that anxiety, just making sure that there's signposting, there's clear messaging around the different types of payment options from the start, not just at the checkout funnel, can really get the users who really intend to purchase, get to the end of the conversion journey as well.
And this is linked with kind of abandoned cart, really. So it's a good example of how our customers try to pick up on the stats that we saw before. And many of our customers are testing the shopping cart journey, like the one we saw before, to see how they can simplify it, what works, what doesn't. And I wanted to highlight how A/B Tasty helps clients boost abandoned carts by being able to personalize to users who return. So this is an example of basically people coming back onto Calvin Klein's website and they're able to see a bar where the last items they looked at came up. You can see how it reduced bounce rates. You can see that transactions went up. It's a simple thing, but when you test it, you're able to see how well it works.
One thing I wanted to add to that slide was, John, sorry, is it's quite interesting. As you can see, obviously there's actual prices crossed over and there's a sale price there now. So it could be that they had come previously 7 days before where the price was full. Now that they have come to the site, there is an actual discount rate now. So just presenting the last few products that they saw, and they must have thought, okay, it's quite expensive, I'm not going to purchase it now, but now they see a drop. And putting that last viewed item in front of their eyes on the cart page can hugely impact the overall conversions as well. Sorry. Thank you. And last question we just wanted to run through was, what would make your online shopping experience more personal? Now, when we talk about personalizing experience, it's so different to many brands. There is no one right or wrong definition for it. It's how you want to personalize as a brand and a business to your users. And the really important thing is listening to your users. So doing some user research to listen to them and understand what is it that they would like to see when it comes to their personalized experiences on site. So highest one being rewarding them with brand loyalty. So again, going back to the point initially, it's when they become more loyal to your brand, they expect some level of incentives. The second one was suggesting products that they're interested in. One point I'd like to highlight is post-COVID, our audiences and customers and users have become way more smart, and they have a level of expectations that when they come back on your site, if they purchase once with you, they expect some level of recommendations. That's just the user experience they expect of us being on a digital space. And then the last one was sending emails exclusively with content that they're interested in. So not just sending emails with their name and something they have purchased, but really trying to send out an email that is more one-to-one personalization with them and recommending them products that they have purchased or they would be interested in. That's what's going to get them to click through to your email campaigns and come to your site as well.
Linked with that kind of idea is I wanted to sort of talk about knowing who your customer is. So it's not quite personalization, but it's actually at least showing the people visiting your site that you know who they are. And this is another test from Calvin Klein, but it's basically where they did a test where they could see which gender clothes someone was looking up, and after a while, when they went back to the site, they would only see those clothes. So if that person was looking at men's clothes and they left, when they came back, men's clothes would appear on the first page straight away. I think that's again, a really simple way of saying to your audience, I know who you are and I know what you want. This is another one to me which I think is interesting in terms of personalization, which is basically the products that are being shown are based on geolocation. So I think it was a customer that was actually in Australia,
yeah.
And you had different weather in the north of the country than you had in the
yeah.
south of the country.
And also we can, sorry John, we can also target by weather conditions as well. So obviously they were promoting knitwear in the cold weather period phase as well. So that's where they really use that geolocation and weather condition personalization to target their users with an offer that were on the knitwear category as well.
And I think if you think about the summer that we just had, the idea that you could actually show different products based on what the weather was doing that day is kind of, again, an interesting thing that you can do.
This is the last case study. I'm going to run through it quickly because I know we're going to be over time. But this is basically when users come through your email campaign, again, when they land on your site and they've actually considered to get through a certain conversion funnel, it's about presenting a messaging that is going to offer them incentives as well. So Grays wanted to kind of show to their users that they deliver through letterbox as well, so they provide services that are delivery based as well, so they don't have to be home to kind of collect their packages as well. So what they wanted to do, when they did that, they saw an increase of 4.33% in subscription. That's a huge number when it comes to subscription base, because it's so difficult to incentivize and get your users to sign up to your subscriptions, and Grays did that quite well. Again, very low code because it was basically adding a simple banner widget with some copy change and formatting it according to how they wanted with an A/B Tasty WYSIWYG editor, and the impact was quite huge in terms of the ROI they received. If you want to know more about these case studies, please do come to our stand, and I think we're at the end of the session.
Yeah, we are. Our stand is just over there. I don't know if anybody does have any questions. I think there is maybe a roaming mic somewhere. I'm surprising people. But if you do have any questions, put your hand up and go ahead. I think we've given you all the information you need. Do come visit our stand. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you.